Okay, let's get right into it. We've all heard of vision boards. Heck, maybe you've even made one. But let's be honest, how many of those end up as just colorful posters gathering dust in a corner? Well, today, we're going to tear that whole idea apart and rebuild it. We're going to figure out how to build a vision board that goes way beyond wishful thinking and becomes a real tool that actually drives change in your life. This isn't about just getting motivated. It's about getting clear. And this quote right here, this hits the nail on the head. A goal is just a destination, It's wanting to climb that mountain over there. But direction is the compass and the map that actually gets you there. And this is the number one reason most vision boards fail. They are jam-packed with destinations, but there's no map to be found. So let's just be real for a minute. You know the drill, right? We cut out the pictures, we paste on the dreams, and we feel this incredible surge of motivation for like a couple of days. And then, poof, nothing. Life just snaps right back to the way it was. So we're going to dig into exactly why that keeps happening. Okay, here's the breakdown of where it all goes wrong. First, we get obsessed with the outcomes. The car, the house, the vacation, without ever asking who we need to become to get those things. Second, our boards are basically just a collection of wishes with no real process, no systems attached. And finally, the board ends up being a piece of art that we look at instead of a tool that we actually live from. And that's the bottom line, isn't it? It feels good, it looks super inspiring, but if it isn't backed up by actual disciplined action, it's really just a beautiful lie we're telling ourselves. But the good news is, we can absolutely fix that. So how do we fix it? Well, it all starts with a huge mindset shift. We have to stop thinking of a vision board as some kind of magic wand that's going to make results appear out of thin air. It's not. It's a practical, powerful tool for getting one thing: clarity. This right here is the fundamental shift we have to make. We got to stop treating the vision board like a magic wish list or some temporary source of motivation. We need to start using it as a tool for clarity, a tool to align our actions. Its real job isn't to magically attract results. It's to guide your decisions every single day. Think of it this way. If your daily actions don't change one bit, your vision board is just expensive wallpaper. Its power is only unlocked when it actually starts to influence what you do today. All right, so how do we do this for real? Here's the framework. It's a really simple 3-step process. First, we're going to lay the foundation by defining our identity. Second, we take action by building our systems. And third, we create the habit of actually living the vision. Let's break each of those down. Okay, now this part is the most critical piece of the puzzle, and it's where almost everyone gets it wrong. We have to start with who, not what. The focus has to be on the person you need to become way before you even think about the things you want to have. I really want you to let this question sink in because it changes everything. Before you put a single image on that board, you have to ask yourself, to achieve all of this stuff, who do I have to be day in and day out? So yeah, forget the pictures of the sports cars for just a minute. The most powerful things you can put on your vision board are words. Words like these. You have to ask, am I the disciplined person who doesn't skip a workout? Am I the focused person who turns off distractions? These identity words, they belong right in the center of your board because your results will always follow your identity. Okay, so once you know who you need to be, the next step is all about action. You have to back up that new identity with practical, repeatable systems. This is where we build the engine that's actually going to drive you forward. And this distinction is absolutely crucial. A goal is just the outcome. I want to get fit. A system, on the other hand, is the repeatable process that makes that outcome pretty much inevitable. I train 3 times a week, no matter what. Your board needs way fewer destinations and a lot more vehicles. And here are just a few really concrete examples. Look, these aren't flashy, they're not glamorous, but man, are they powerful. Systems are what you fall back on when you don't feel motivated. They are the boring, repetitive actions that build an extraordinary life. Put these on your board. All right, so we've got our identity, we've got our systems. The final step is to weave all of this into the fabric of your daily life. We need to turn this board from just some static object on the wall into a living, breathing guide for your life. Now, this might feel a little uncomfortable, but trust me, it is incredibly powerful. We spend so much time focusing on the pleasure of achieving our goals, but we also have to be brutally honest about the pain of doing nothing. What's the real cost of staying exactly where you are? Your board should really have two sides. It should show the dream you're running toward and the nightmare you're running away from. Because sometimes the fear of regret, that fear of wasted potential, is a way stronger motivator than the desire for success. Let your board remind you of both.
This is how you make it all practical. Every single morning, you look at your board, at your identity words, at your systems, and you ask one simple question. What would the disciplined, focused version of me do right now? And then you just do it. You just take one small action that aligns with that answer. That's it.
And really, that's the core message here. A powerful vision isn't about shouting your goals from the rooftops. It's about quietly and consistently living them out in all the small, unseen choices you make, every single day. So, if this explainer helped bring you some of that clarity on how to build a life with more direction, the absolute best way you can support what we're doing here is to like, subscribe, and maybe share this with someone else who needs to hear it. We're all about giving you the tools for growth without all the noise. And I want to leave you with this one final thought. Clarity is totally useless if it doesn't change what you do today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. So, based on everything we just talked about, what is the one single aligned action you will take today to start becoming the person you truly want to be?